Hello, I'm your Kingdom Spiritual Transformational and Life Purpose Life Coach and Mentor Latricia Booker. And I'm popping in on you to tell you that they thought that you could not prosper without them. But the truth is, you could not fully prosper with them. Kingdom people, they thought that you wouldn't prosper without them, but you couldn't fully prosper with them. And so I'm going to leave this message with Psalm 1, Division 1 through 4. And it says, Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The ungodly are not so, but are like the shaft which the wind driveth away. And so, kingdom people, listen, many people had it in their mind that the only way you will be able to do well is if you were connected to them, if they were in your life. Maybe some of these people have done something for you. Maybe these people at one point in time have had more than you. I'm going to say material wise. And maybe some of them still do. And they took that as the only way that you will be able to do well is with them. And not just that, they took that way because they didn't want you to be able to do well outside of them. So ultimately, they put themselves in a position to make it seem that the only way that you will be able to be okay and have something to survive, so to speak, is if they were in your lives. And I wanted to say thrive, but the truth is, kingdom people, they didn't want you to thrive. They just wanted you to just be able to just do well enough to keep you to just be at a certain space. And they wanted it to be where they felt that they were in control of that or they contributed to that. And so a lot of the reason why they felt like that, again, is because they wanted to keep you at a certain level. But bigger than that, kingdom people, they saw something in you that was greater. And they did not never want you to get to that greater. So they had a thing where they tried to put you beneath them, keep you under their thumb, so to speak. And they kind of just trick their minds in a way to make themselves believe and think that, I want to say, I'm hearing that they are superior to you, even though that wasn't something that you were, thinking, or you wasn't looking at in that way. They were. So their aim was to feel like or be superior to you. Again, it's all because of what they saw in you. They knew that there was greatness in you. They saw that light in you. They seen maybe even the way of the presence of God in you. I want to say they seen the way you carry yourself. They seen something in you, and they wanted to diminish it. They wanted to push it down. They wanted to have control and authority over it. And one of the ways that they did this, again, in many of these situations, they may have been in a better position than you, I'm going to say material wise, because they clearly were not in a better position than you spiritual wise. And that's what they saw in you, your spirit, that greatness in you. You were more spiritually inclined, spiritually depth. And there was some depth to you, spiritually speaking. And so again, kingdom people, these people felt intimidated by that. And so they wanted to control it by using what they felt they had over you. Now, here's where the issue comes in at. They felt that the only way you can be okay or do well or survive is if they were in your lives. And what has happened is, kingdom people, they have found out that not only did you do better with them out of your lives, but you're prospering. And the reason is because they never were that for you anyway. Now, God may have used them to take you a certain, to help you to a certain extent, to help you with certain things, to assist you. But what God is pressing upon me right now is that He also used you to do certain things for them, things that they may never acknowledge, not even to themselves, even though they may know this to be so. But that's neither here or there, because people like this tend to have that. They want to be on top. They have this thing where they want to present themselves like they perfect. I'm hearing like they stuff don't stink, like they don't have any like they're perfect, like they don't have no error, no, which is unreal, because if you're perfect, how are you still on this earth? But that's the way they want to present themselves. And people who present themselves in that way and even act out in a way, act towards others in a way like that, so they're very insecure. And these are the kind of people that never own up to any error or anything they've done wrong. These are the kind of people that won't say they're sorry. They don't like accountability. They can't stand it. Listen, they won't even say the word accountability. And so, because, that's just not what they do. They're very narcissistic, and they just want to have control over everybody in every situation, every circumstance. And it's in an effort to make them to soothe themselves. And I'm hearing to soothe their demons, to soothe their insecurities. And so again, they utilize all this, or all this plays out in such a way with you, where they have tricked themselves into believing, and they may even try to trick you into believing that you need them to do well. And so, again, they thought that you couldn't prosper without them. They thought that you would not prosper without them. When you maybe removed yourself, or some of them may have walked away from you. And in some of these cases, it's because you wasn't going along with some nonsense that they were trying to perpetrate on you, and just wanted you to just be there and take it with your divine self. Imagine that they wanted to mishandle a divine being sent by God, and wanted you to just allow, just to take abuse and mistreatment when you are meant to be cherished and loved and appreciated and treated right, because that's what you did, kingdom people. Even if you had your issues and mistakes, 9 out of 10, you were acting from a place and responding from a place of being mishandled and mistreated. And so that may have looked a little erratic, or so to speak, or, not so nice. Again, 9 times out of 10, it came from a place of you being mishandled, you being mistreated. People just wanting you to just lay down and take whatever they had to dish out to you, and you just be there and take it. And again, they thought you would take it because they felt like you couldn't do better without them. They had tricked themselves to believe that the only way you could be okay is if they were in your life. And it had a lot to do with what they would do for you, which ultimately you could do for yourself. And again, if you didn't have what they had, because they had more than you, you can get there. Not that it was about having what they had, but anybody who has a desire and a will to can accomplish things and make progress and build themselves. But they tricked themselves into thinking that you needed them and that you can only prosper with them. Now, here's the kicker. They didn't even want you to prosper. In fact, they were trying to keep you from prospering. They wanted you to stay under them. So how could you ever prosper with them when they didn't want you to prosper? They made it their business to keep you from prospering. Now, what they did do, kingdom people, is fed off of your energy to help themselves prosper to the capacity that they were able to, because there's a limit to their prosperity because of Psalm 1, which says, again, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. They're ungodly. The very fact that someone wants to diminish you, keep you down, mishandle you, don't have in their mind that you can't prosper without them, that's ungodly all by itself. What is godly is wanting all to prosper, want all to be who God created them to be their best divine selves, walk in the purpose that God created them for. That's what's godly. So when people are not wanting you to be your best self, and they want to hold you up under their microscope, so to speak, under that, I'm hearing radar. I'm trying to say something else, but these are the words that keep coming to me. That's not godly at all. And so, listen, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. So here's the thing, kingdom people. They thought you couldn't prosper without them, excuse me. But you couldn't prosper with them. Not the way God intended for you to prosper. So you're blessed because you don't walk in the counsel of the ungodly. You're blessed because you remove yourself away from there. Now, you are always blessed. But kingdom people, you really be blessed when you remove yourself from their presence, when you no longer take their counsel or whatever it is that they're thinking or feeling they're doing for you. And again, maybe they did do some things for you. And again, you for them as well. In some instances, maybe not all. Well, you did. Your presence was what you were really doing. And even those people fed off of your energy. Trust me, even if they financially were able to do more, your presence was doing something for them. I'm reminded of, it's so crazy because this was on me yesterday evening. There was an event that I asked someone to assist me with for my daughter, for a celebration we were having for her. And this person, the restaurant that we had decided upon, they had a free meal or something like that at this place. And so when they just wanted to, make it clear that they were paying their own bill. They were paying their bill wouldn't be included in the total because they had that free thingy and they wanted to use it. And I guess they maybe had to use it by a certain date. So they just was really pressing the issue to let me know, oh, I took care of that. I put mine already on there. And all that kind of came to me last night. And God was just pointing it out to me how they wanted me to no. I noticed it then because it was like they was doing too much. It's like, okay, I just noticed what people doing and just, okay. But they were just doing too much, going through extremes to let me know that they took care of it. Mine is not on your bill. But God was like reminding me last night, they wanted to make sure that you knew that you were not doing nothing for them, that they were not paying, I was not paying for them. Because this is the kind of person that has a thing where they feel like they can only do for you. But it's funny about anybody doing for them. And they're just like that across the board. And it's a control thing. It's a thing of wanting to feel like they're in control, wanting people to think that they need them and not the other way around. In other words, they don't need them. So that's just interesting because that goes kind of hand in hand with this. But here's the thing, going back to what I was saying. Listen, you don't need them, kingdom people. You can prosper without them. In fact, you really can prosper and really will prosper without them. Because first of all, again, that's ungodly. It is even ungodly to, I'm not even getting ready to go in there. Let's just stick with this. Blessed is the man that walking not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standing in the way of sinners. You got out of the way. Nor sitting in the seat of the scornful. But listen, kingdom people, says, but his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. Your delight is in the law of the Lord. That's what your delight is, and it's in God's law, it's in him. And it says, in his law do you meditate on day and night. You meditate on him. You meditate on his word. His word tell you that you can do all things through Christ which strengthen you. His word tell you that great is he that is in me, the he that is in the world. His word tell you that he has the thoughts he has for you is for a hope for a future and not to harm you. Kingdom people, I can go on and on and on and on. Here's the thing, that's what you meditate on, not on these people and what they can do for you and how you can't prosper without them. You meditate and you on the word of God. That's where your delight is, on the law of the Lord. And in that way, that is how you'll prosper. I'm not saying people can't help you, but what I am saying is these kind of people ain't it. Even if they did something for you at one time, their intentions are ill. Their intentions are wrong. Their intentions are wicked. And again, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. So you can't even prosper walking in their way. You have to get out of their way, move around them in order to prosper. Going on. Listen, this is you, kingdom people, because you delight yourselves in the law of the Lord, not in them. Not that you don't delight yourself in certain people who are delightful. But here it is. You delight yourself in the law of the Lord, and in his law that you meditate on day and night. And this is what happens. And he shall be like a tree planted by the river of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall what, kingdom people? Shall prosper. So it ain't without them you can't prosper. It's without God you can't prosper. See, without them you will prosper, because they're not your God. They don't have a law for you to meditate on day and night. And if they do have one, it's wicked, just like them. Kingdom people, they thought you couldn't prosper without them. They thought you would not prosper without them. But the truth is, you absolutely will prosper without them. The only way you can prosper fully is without them. Them ungodly ones, them wicked ones, them ones that want to be your God, them ones that want to dominate you and have control over you, and want to have in their mind that you need them, or want to have in your mind that you need them in order to prosper and do well. And it's just not the truth. It's just not the truth. Who you need to prosper and do well is God. And then it goes on to say, the ungodly are not so. Listen, the ungodly, they ain't even that kingdom people. They ain't so. But are like the shaft which the wind driveth away. Kingdom people. They thought you couldn't prosper without them. But the truth is, you couldn't fully prosper with them. And that is all I have to say about that. So if you like this video and or if it resonates with you, please just go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Then click on that subscribe button and subscribe to my channel if you have not already done so. Thank you. Make sure you go ahead and ring my bell. Ring my bell. Ring my bell so that you can receive a notification every time I upload a new video. Kingdom people, if there's any information you need to know about me, you can find all that right down below in the description box, along with other helpful resources. Kingdom people, thank you all so very much for being here. Thank you for the likes, subscribe, shares. Thank you for all your comments and feedback, for all your financial contributions to my channel, and for all the seeds that you sow into me and my ministry. Kingdom people, thank you. Now, kingdom people, I love you all so very much. I really don't want to leave you, but I do have to go right now. But I will be back to hold my kingdom people down. Now, kingdom people, above all else, let the Holy Spirit lead you in all things at all times. Kingdom people, we are unstoppable, we are unmovable, we are unbreakable, and we are untouchable. Kingdom people, keep growing, keep going, and go and be great. That is our time. This Jesus girl is out. Shalom and peace.